Okay, we are talking today about the tier. Let me bring this down. There we go. That's better. Okay, we're talking about Sagroth, Lair of Sagroth, Tier 2. This is part of the Return to Cairn Doom quest pack, and this is a method we used quite successfully last night to take out the main boss, Radrig. So the main thing that we did that was different is we have two rats that spawn after 30 seconds, a robust vermin, and the other one is called the ferocious vermin. So these two rats spawn after 30 seconds. And what happens is if you kill them both, then after another 30 seconds, another set will spawn, and so on and so forth. And so what we do is we take the ferocious and we pull him over to one corner and mez him, keep him out of the fight, and we kill the robust. And since one of the two is still alive, we don't get a new robust, and we can just focus on the boss mob. The other mob involved is the tiny vermin, and the tiny vermin will drop puddles, so it's important to interrupt their inductions. And also, the boss mob has an induction which will fire off tail whip, and we have to interrupt that. So, interrupting is important. You want to stay even or slightly ahead of your main assist, our main tank, which in this case is a hunter, Iron Quill. And this is more of a DPS fight. The damage from the boss mob is not going to kill you. The puddles from the tiny vermin will. So you keep moving, but you have to stay tightly stacked to your main assist because you don't want the tiny vermin to get behind the group, because then you will be engulfed in puddles and you'll have nowhere to go and everybody will die. So that's the keys here. Our champ goes in first, pulls the boss mob. They then move to the center for the 30-second point when the robust and the ferocious spawn, so they can pull the ferocious to the corner where it is mezzed by the lore master. So that's what we're going to do. Take a look. That's the puddles you need to move out of, that big red square. This big orange circle on the ground around the boss mob is the induction that needs to be interrupted. He's about to cast his tail whip. I do not have him directly targeted, or I would be able to see it in a bar above him. I'm targeted through the main assist, so that's why there's no bar. I have names turned off for clarity of vision. So our champ has now pulled the ferocious over to this area here where the lore master has mezzed it. The robust is here. We're killing it. These cleansing devices are important because the boss mob will periodically rear up, and you'll see this kind of like shockwave effect, and this kicks out a debuff called Clinging Plague, which you can see now on me. Has this green scaled look, and it will tear up, and the only way to get rid of it is to use the cleansing devices. In this particular fight, I do not use a cleansing device, and it's going to stack up to tier 3 before we finish this thing. But right now we're just fighting the boss mob. We've got the ferocious vermin mezzed in the corner, so we're not even dealing with it, and we don't have to worry about more robust spawning. We're just focused on the boss mob and these tiny vermin that spawn. So we're using our AoEs. That's the reason why we take the ferocious to the corner, so we can use our AoE damage to attack these vermin as a mini. Myself in particular, I really have a nice one there that I just fire off. I believe that's Call of the Second Age, which does an area effect damage and also a stun, which really helps against the vermin and also interrupts their inductions. And we're almost done here. Boss mob is down to 10%. Again, we never even kill the ferocious. It's still sitting in the corner this whole time because the lore master keeps it mezzed. And that is how you complete Tier 2 Sagroth Lair of Vermin. So that's how you do it, folks. Use a lore master. Burglar could possibly be used. I'm not familiar enough with the classes to know, but the key is you have to take that ferocious, get it out of the way, so your minis and your other classes that have their AoE interrupts and damage can use them on the tiny vermin. Uh, that's how you keep the puddles down. The first time we completed this on Tier 2, we ran around this whole room with the tiny vermin dropping puddles all over the place. And looking back at it now, I have no idea how we completed it. So this is the way to do it, folks.